Section 2 of The House of the Trees and Other Poems by Ethelwyn Wetherald. Section 2. Make Room. Room for the children out of doors, for heads of gold or gloom, for raspberry lips and rose-leaf cheeks and palms. Make room, make room. Room for the springtime out of doors, for buds in green or bloom, for every brown bare-handed country weed. Make room, make room. Room for earth's sweetest out of doors, and for its worst a tomb, for housed-up griefs and fears and scorns and sighs. No room, no room. The Hummingbird. Against my window-pane he plunges at a mass of buds and strikes in vain the intervening glass. O sprite of wings and fire outstretching eagerly, my soul with like desire to probe thy mystery, comes close as breast to bloom, as bud to hot heart-beat, and gains no inner room, and drains no hidden sweet. September. But yesterday, all faint for breath, the summer laid her down to die, and now her frail ghost wandereth in every breeze that loiters by. Her wilted prisoners look up, as wondering who hath broke their chain. Too deep they drank of summer's cup, they have no strength to rise again. How swift the trees, their mistress gone, enrobe themselves for revelry. Ungovernable winds upon the world are dancing merrily. With crimson fruits, and bursting nuts, and whirling leaves and flushing streams, the spirit of September cuts adrift from August's languid dreams. A little while the revellers shall flame and flaunt and have their day, and then will come the messengers who travel on a cloudy way. And after them a form of light, a sense of iron in the air, upon the pulse a touch of might, and winter's legions everywhere. The March Orchard. Unleaved, undrooping, still they stand, this staunch and patient pilgrim band. October robbed them of their fruit, November stripped them to the root. The winter smote their helplessness with furious ire and stormy stress, and now they seem almost to stand in sight of summer's promised land. Yet seen through frosty window panes, when bared and bound in wintry chains, their lightsome spirits seem to play with February as with May. The snow that turned the skies a frown enwrapped them in the softest down, and rains that dulled the landscape o'er but left them livelier than before. But now this June-like day of March with patient strength their branches arch, not as unmindful of the breeze that makes midsummer melodies, but knowing spring a fickle maid, and that rough days must dawn and fade, before, all blossoming bright, they stand in sight of summer's promised land. The Blind Man. The blind man at his window bars stands in the morning dewy dim. The lily-footed dawn, the stars that wait for it, are naught to him. And not to his unseeing eyes the brownness of a sunny plain, where worn and drowsy August lies, and wakens but to sleep again. And not to him a greening slope, that yearns up to the heights above, and not the leaves of May that ope as awfully as the eyes of love. And not to him the branching aisles, athrong with woodland worshippers, and not the fields where summer smiles among her sunburned laborers. The way a trailing streamlet goes, the barefoot grasses on its brim, The dew a flower cup overflows With silent joy are hid from him. To him no breath of nature calls, Upon his desk his work is laid, He looks up at the dingy walls, And listens to the voice of trade. To the October Wind Old playmate showering the way With thick leaf storms in red and gold, I'm only 6 years old to day, You made me feel but 6 years old. In yellow gown and scarlet hood I whirled, a leaf among the rest, Or lay within the thinning wood, And played that you were red of breast. Old comrade, lift me up again, Your arms are strong, your feet are swift, And bear me lightly down the lane, Through all the leaves that drift and drift, And out into the twilight wood, And lay me softly down to rest, And cover me just as you would If you were really red of breast. A midday in midsummer. The sky's great curtains downward steal, Their earth's fair company of trees and streams and meadows feel A sense of privacy. Upon the vast expanse of heat Light-footed breezes pace, To waves of gold they tread the wheat, They lift the sunflower's face. The cruel sun is blotted out, The west is black with rain, The drooping leaves in mingled doubt And hope look up again. The weeds and grass on tiptoe stand, A strange exultant thrill Prepares the dazed uncertain land For the wild tempest's will. The wind grows big and breathes aloud As it turns hurrying past. At one sharp blow the thunder cloud Lets loose the furious blast. The earth is beaten, drenched and drowned, The elements go mad, Swift streams of joy flow o'er the ground, And all the leaves are glad. Then comes a momentary lull, The darkest clouds are furled, And lo, new washed and beautiful And breathless gleams the world. A slow rain. A drowsy rain is stealing In slowness without stop, The sun-dried earth is feeling Its coolness drop by drop. The clouds are slowly wasting Their too long garnered store, Each thirsty clod is tasting One drop, and then one more. Oh, ravishing as slumber To wearied limbs and eyes, And countless as the number Of stars in wintry skies. And sweet as the caresses By baby fingers made, These delicate rain kisses On leaf and flower and blade. The patient earth. The patient earth that loves the grass, The flocks and herds that o'er it pass, That guards the smallest summer nest Within her scented bosom pressed, And gives to beetle, moth, and bee A lavish hospitality, Still waits through weary years to bind The hearts of suffering humankind. How far we roamed away from her, The tender mother of us all! Yet 'mid the city's noises stir The sound of birds that call and call. Wind melodies that rise and fall Along the perfumed wooded wall. We looked upon the childhood's eyes, The ugly streets are all a blur, And in our hearts are homesick cries. The loving earth that roots the trees So closely to her inmost heart, Has rooted us as well as these. Not long from her we live apart. We draw upon a lengthening string, For months perhaps, perhaps for years, And plume ourselves that we are free. And then we hear a robin sing, Where starving grass shows stunted spears, Or haycart moving fragrantly Where creaking tavern signboards swing. Then closer, tighter drawn the chain, The man, too old and worn for tears, Goes back to be a child again. The greed that took us prisoner first led our steps away from her; For lust of gold we gave up life, And sank heart deep in worldly strife. And when success, beloved name, At last with faltering footsteps came, The city's rough, harsh imps of sound, And competition's crush and cheat, Were in her wreath securely bound. Her fruits still savored of the street, Its choking dust, its wearied feet. Her poorest, like her richest prize, Was rotted o'er with envious eyes, And sickened with the human heat Of hands that strove to clutch it fast, And struggling gave it up at last. Not so where Nature summer crowned Makes fields and woods a pleasure ground, Sky blessed, wind kissed, and circled round With waters lapsing cool and sweet. O Earth, sweet mother, take us back, With woodland strength and orchard joy; And river peace without alloy Flood us, who on the city's track Have followed stifling, sordid years; Cleanse us with dew and meadow rain, Till life's horizon lights and clears, And Nature claims us once again. Section 3